in Compton, you know, when you really banging, you fucking with all of it. You know what I mean? It ain't, if somebody come do something in any hood over there, you feel like you obligated to go help out. Even if you hear about it. Somebody did wasn't aware, let's go over there and see what the homies need. You know what I mean? And that's how it was for some of us. Yeah. And I was one of them dudes.
Before you got there, it was all Lueders in the 70s, and then it started to break away.
Started to break up, yeah.
Did you ever get the history on who was the dude that broke away and just said, we're going to be Cross Atlantic over here?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, I did. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because like I said, I can call them dudes to this day. I'm through and through Cross Atlantic.
And they're still around, the founders.
Well, they still living. They not around, but they still living, you know what I mean? And I got those numbers because, you know what I mean? I'm not, don't come on here to mean to toot no horns or nothing like that, but, you know, check the Carfax. You know, I'm FG, Alex, you know what I mean? And my G homies, all the way from the inception of Cross Atlantic, I fuck with them all the way down to the dude that might have just got put on 2 days ago. You know, I'm gonna know about it, you know what I mean? But the founders of it was more or less like because Lueders Mob was breaking up. Now, Elm is the original where it kicked off at. You know what I mean? You know, I don't mean to tell the history of another neighborhood, but I know the Super G's, a lot of them came out to Elm Street. You know what I mean? That's from Lueders Park, came out to Elm. You know what I mean? And so when the Elm started breaking off, and then it was Lueders Mob, you know, they start breaking off. You know, big homies start breaking off over there. The Lime Hoods did their thing, Holly Hoods did their thing. Now you got Cross Atlantic. You know what I mean? But so even before it was Cross Atlantic, they didn't have an identity. They were just more or less like them, the Atlantic Street boys, the our hood. You know what I mean? They called them our hood. Them dudes that was over there on the other side of Atlantic. You go there on the other side of Atlantic, you got to deal with, you know, Mike Hall, Joe Hunter, Leroy Clark. You know what I mean? Buzzy. You know, you got to deal with them niggas over there. They over there. You know what I mean? So, and they was reputable dudes. You know what I mean? So, and once dudes got to saying, you know, the dudes over there on the other side of Atlantic, Cross Atlantic, go Cross Atlantic, it's a different issue over there, and that's when it was took off, Cross Atlantic Piru.
Now, when you was coming up, I would guess that China Dog, Brother Nunn was one of the biggest names on the east side.
You know, he was when I was coming up, but when you got to think about when you coming up in your section. Then you venture off to other sections. Then you start hearing these big names and shit from, you know, from how Piru started. Because before you knew how Piru started, you only know about your neighborhood. You only with your neighborhood, you know what I mean? So I was able to understand where the root started at on the east side. And then I was even able to meet Puddin', you know, back in the day they originally started the root itself, you know what I mean? You know, them cats, you know what I mean? And then you start doing your history. Where did this shit start? Who was the key players that was there when it started? You know, and then like I say, you can go ask China Dog, you can go ask OG Willie T, you can go ask any of the G's about me. You know what I mean? And even though I'm a lot younger than them, wasn't around when they was banging, you know, the shit, they know who the motherfuckers is, the key players out of every neighborhood. You can go ask any of them about me, Alex, you know what I mean?
You know what, I was reading your paperwork that everybody's reading right now, and there's a G's name that's in there. Stanley Pitts.
Oh, Stanley Pitts. I love Stanley Pitts. Yeah, no, Stanley Pitts. I love Stanley Pitts. Just seen him a couple weeks ago. And the one thing about Stan, and these are legends. Don't forget. These are Bompton legends. You know what I mean? That, as I said, at one point in time, I don't even know about their name. I was getting a history on these dudes. And then next thing you know, Alex, I'm fucking with these dudes. I'm functioning with these dudes. You know what I mean? And Stan was one of the dudes that I could say, and he'll say right now that I believe Stan had a whole lot of love in his heart for me. Because Stan used to try to lace my boots. You know what I mean? Stan used to come tell me shit, man, F. You know, he used to try to give me knowledge on everything he could. You know what I mean? And I love Stanley Pitts, man. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate big homie.
And the only reason why his name is in your paperwork is because of this informant, which we'll talk about that later.
Right.
But what's crazy is Stanley Pitts is actually just known by his real name.
Yeah. I don't think he got a gang name.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If he do, I don't know it. Nah. You know what I mean? Yeah, his gang name is, to me, is Stanley Pitts, the G homie.
Okay, so you was going to junior high at Hostler.
Yeah.
And then what high school did you end up going to?
Ninth grade, I went to Lynwood. You know, I went to Lynwood ninth grade. Omar Bradley was our coach. Matter of fact, my god brother Face from Elm Street, that was his uncle. And so Omar, you know, he was one of my mentors growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's from the West Side.
No doubt. You ever asked him about
his brother was active.
No
right?
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. You had Wayne, you had Ronald, you had his big brother Henry was really the force. You know what I mean? But yeah, you go ask any of them about me, they'll tell you. You know.
And for those who don't know, Omar Bradley actually became the mayor.
He became the mayor. Yeah, he became the mayor. And what happened was, this is my god brother, a little bro had caught a murder back in '89, and he's from Elm Street. He caught a murder back in '89. So when he came home. But to go back, when I was at Lynwood, we won the championship on the football team. And Face from Am was our quarterback. I mean, we got it in, you know. And so I went to Lynwood in the ninth, and we got into a big ass riot with the Crips at a talent show. And it was big, and we had to go send the homies over to the mob to get some help. You know what I mean? Because the Crips was trying to press us, you know. And we got down with them, and it was.
Was it all Lynwood Crips or Crip more than Lynwood?
Nah, because at Lynwood High, it was everybody. Same at Hostler. You had Carver Parks, you had Grape Street, you had Park Village, you had all them there. You know what I mean? So it wasn't no easy feat for me to go there. But I went there the 2 years, I ran my phase, I got down, I did all that shit. You know, but you wasn't running me up out of there. You know what I mean? So at the Lynwood, I had more homies though. By the time I got to Lynwood, the homies was deep. You know what I mean?
So Omar was the coach at Lynwood?
Yeah, he was my freshman coach.
He was a football coach.
He was a football, hell yeah. Good coach too. Like I said, we won the championship at Lynwood. So then after I got into the ride with the Crips at the talent show, Omar, me, Dominic Wilson, Jamal Bradley, and a couple other players, we left Lynwood High and went to Gahr High and Cerritos.
Was that for 11th grade?
No, that was 10th grade.
10th.
We went 10th grade because we were trying to get scholarships, Alice. We had talent. And the coach that was there and shit, I ain't gonna lie, I felt like he was a real sympathizer. You know what I mean? He catered to certain motherfuckers, but the motherfuckers who was power rules, it seemed like he had a problem with them. You know what I mean? But it seemed like he had a problem with Omar as well. You know what I mean? You know, because Omar, you know, he don't want to admit it, or he might not, but he, you know, he from the West Side. You know what I mean? And so we went to Gahr and Cerritos, and we did good over there. Took them to their first championship. Well, not a championship. Let me take that back. We took them to the playoffs. They hadn't been to the playoffs since the 70s. We beat I don't know if you remember Bruce Walker and them that was over there at Dominion, so we beat them that year. My 11th grade year, we put hands, he was in a senior, we put hands on them over there at Dominguez High. You know what I mean? So we went over there to try to get a better education, and that's what it was.
So at the same time you're putting all this energy and effort into football, you still Cross Atlantic.
No doubt. I'm talking about equally.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description, and thanks for watching StreetTV.net.